Hello everyone, my name is Shih. I'm product manager for decision space geosteering solution. So we the horizontal well correlation module within decision space. So today I'd like to introduce a new feature we developed within decision space 4.04. So just like any other previous version, we are trying to improving all the communication between drilling site and operation geologists, and also we're always trying to improving their workflow, trying to help them to complete their interpretation process as soon as when they get the data from drilling site, and they can send back the results and advice to the drilling site. So we leverage the functionality and the beauty of decision space is from one platform. We know it's multiple modules designed and developed within decision space. So you can leverage well plan, you can leverage geological interpretation, and also geophysical interpretation, all the possible workflow in decision space, plus the horizontal well correlation, which is the geosteering functionality. You can complete that. Then next one is a database supported. Just unlike any other geosteering software on the market right now, decision space is the only one with database included and supported. So the user, they don't have to worry about where they can save their data. Plus, when they do interpretation of their data, they'll be able to save that, and also other users, especially when you have the operation geosteering center, that'll be very helpful, because your team will be able to see the results in real time. And just like I mentioned, the real-time update is critical for all the geosteering process, because as soon as you made an update, your framework should be updated as well, and the rest of the team, they should be able to see what's the change you made. So in this version, we focus on reducing geosteering interpretation process, also increasing their communication efficiency. So next, I'm going to introduce what the new features we implemented within 10ep.4.04. First one is guidance line functionality, and next is automatic recalculation of log curves. Then I'm going to talk about the lock and unlock functionality of HWC. That's very critical and helpful within the geosteering operation center. And then point target line enhancement, then is the performance improvement we did for reloading well process. So let's talk about guidance line functionality. So as we know, operation geologists usually how they communicate with the drilling site, those drilling engineer, those DD, they were using the following format. Like they were informed then under what specific TVD value at vertical section equals 0. They want to follow this specific depth and maintain in which specific inclination angle. Basically, at least the example here, I want to maintain my drill bit staying in 10,000 feet at TVD at VS equals 0, and my inclination angle is around 90.5 degree. So usually when you get the results, like your current drilling path from the drilling site, you will get the following format of the information as well. So within HWC, we're trying to improve the communication way. So that's why we implement the guidance line. As you can see, it's located within the bottom right side of the HWC workspace panel. So there's a guidance line checkbox. We implemented that. So right now, as long as you make your section view active, you'll be able to toggle on and off your guidance line. So when you toggle on of your guidance line, you'll be able to see the guidance line will be displayed within your section view. And you'll be able to change the line color, line thickness, and also line style as well. And of course, inclination and the TVD value as well, that will be all editable based on the information you got from the drilling site or the advice you want to provide to the drilling site. So next, let's look at a short video I recorded, so you'll be able to know how exactly it works. So this is the HWC workspace panel. When we check on the guidance line checkbox, you'll be able to see your guidance line display with section view. And here, when you click the line up bottoms there, you'll be able to change the line width, line style, and also you can preview that. And if you want to change the angle, like if you want to change the inclination angle, you can input any angle you want, and you can see the line will be rotated. So the rotation here, or the PV point here, is using the last survey point of the well path. So when you moving your guidance line vertically through the value of TVD, as you can see here, I'm changing the TVD value, changing to minus 300, make it a little bit lower, or make it a little bit higher by changing back. And after you vertically, you'll be able to see the inclination angle, the PV point location. They were always using the last survey points or vertical section value. So it's how you rotate your guidance line. Just don't forget your pivot point location will be your last or vertical section value. So that's really important. Okay. The next one is automatic recalculation of log curve. So as most of the users know, when they launch HWC Workspace, first time usually they will get these blank view because they, from our previous setting for HWC workflow, you have to always manually click that calculate curve button here. So this became extremely annoying because when you for example, like set up the auto refresh workflow, every time when the new data is coming in, you can see your real-time data. Those LWD, MWD, wildline log curve is already displayed within the view. But the rest of the log curve calculated from HWC, for example, predicted curve, type log curve, or also the standard log curve. So all of them, they cannot be populated unless click calculate curve button. So we kind of improving the efficiency of this. So right now, so there are different scenarios I'm listing here. Whenever you're restoring your save session, if they include any HWC workspace you opened before, when you just launch that pre-save section, then your HWC workspace will be automatically populate those curves for you. And the second scenario is when you launch new HWC workspace. If that well is you already launched before, like you have some preferred HWC interpretation saved for that specific well, then of course when you launch this well's HWC workspace, you don't have to click a curve all the related view edit within this view, within HWC workspace. Those curves will be populated for you. And then the last one, but also the important one, is after auto refresh workflow. Just like I mentioned, whenever you set up the automatically reload the data, reload the session from OpenWorks, that's usually the pretty frequent or normal workflow for geosteering operations center. So when you run the auto refresh flow, like every 5 minutes, every 10 minutes, when you get the data, when you load the data from OpenWorks, your DSG session will be automatically load the data for you and also populate the log for you. So you don't have to worry about the log curve, like predicted curve you're trying to interpret is outdated. Okay. So with all of this, that can definitely help user to always using the latest data from OpenWorks. Also, they can always doing the interpretation in real time. The next one is HWC prefer interpretation and interpretation lock and unlock functionality. So we kind of trying to introduce this to the user if they are using HWC in their geosteering operation center, because usually in operation center they are having a shift system. So the second shift of the team member, when they get in, they will continue using the same interpreter ID because they want to maintain the whole HWC interpretation is keep going, is keep monitor for the wells. So in that scenario, usually if other team member, when they are trying to regeosteer the well or trying to provide more advice or feedback for the current geosteering well, usually that will affect or influence the current framework structure, because the framework structure is always using and honor the preferred HWC interpretation selection. So we kind of the solution for that. Right now, you'll be able to lock or unlock your HWC interpretation or prefer HWC interpretation. So as you can see here, this is unlock. So when you unlock it, all of your interpretation, they are just like the white background, just like any other interpretation. But you lock it, you're able to see when that specific interpretation is locked, you'll be gray out. So that means you cannot make any further modification or change on that specific data type. Okay, so you can imagine that will be useful for the multi-use scenario for geosteering process. So this is give you an example for preferred interpretation as well. Here is it's unlocked, and when it's locked, you will be gray out. Okay. The next one is two-point target line enhancement. So as we know, when you are dealing with real-time drilling, usually your last survey point is not always your TD, right? Because your BHA or infrastructure setting, so usually your sensor will be like 30 or 60 feet behind of your drill bit or of your TD. So within target line process, it will be unreasonable. You can only decide, or you can only choose whether you want to place in your future drilling path after TD, because theoretically you want to continue from your last survey point. So before 10ep.4.04, we kind of have that limitation for HWC. But after 4.04, we kind of doing the enhancement. So after 4.04, you'll be able to placing your two-point target line before your TD point. So as you can see, the example I'm showing here, when you place your two-point target line, they will connect it from the last survey point for you, and you'll be able to click the target line report and pull out those 2 points target line XYZ information, and inform the drilling site this is where you want to maintain your drill bit, stay in, and where they want to adjust their drill bit. Okay. And we also improving, just like I mentioned in the previous slide, we also improving the performance when you auto reload or reloading your wells within HWC. So that's more related to the algorithm improving. So I cannot show that here, but just like to share the good news to you guys. When you are reloading off your well within HWC, it's became quicker and faster compared to previous version. Okay. So that's all I have for HWC 4.04 new features and enhancement.